Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I know you guys are probably bored of me already. Anyways, I'm just kidding. So today I went on Instagram, I believe it was a couple of days ago, and I said that I wanted to do this story time of my job experiences. If you guys are not following me, make sure you guys go follow me on my social medias. I leave them down below just in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, I went on Instagram and I told you guys that I wanted to do a story time, and if you guys wanted me to eat or get ready, and majority of you guys said that you guys want to see me eating. I'm just kidding. No, which I seen a DM that the girl was like, it's better you eat so that you can, you know, like kind of like cheese me out, and you know, instead of like getting ready, you have to like kind of like how you say it, focus on like getting ready. So yeah, I was like, you know what, you have a good point there. It's better to just be eating and kind of like, you know, like cheese me out in a way. And yeah, so I'm gonna be eating my favorite food, Wingstop. If you're watching this, please sponsor me. At least send me free food. And I'm just kidding. So I'm eating the best of the best. I'm eating Wingstop, you guys. I can literally eat this like every single day and not get tired of it. This is literally my favorite food in general, wings in general. So yeah, I'm gonna be eating Wingstop and like I said, chit-chatting with you guys. So hold on, let me take a sip. So yeah, you guys, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that we get notified every time we post a new video. Yo. Alright, so if you guys want to hear this story time, just keep on watching. So let me eat first, you guys, because I am starving. I haven't ate. So, and I also got 3 ranches because why not, and my battery is dying. Freaking battery is dying. Okay, so if the angle kind of moved, it's because I just changed the battery, so I don't know how I had it. But anyways, so I'm going to start eating. You already know it's about to go down when you put your sleeves up. So yeah, what was I going? Okay, so I haven't ate, so we did the gift exchange for Christmas, and I was like, the first thing on the list was a Wingstop gift card. The best. And I'm sorry if I go and make you buy some after this video. You gotta have them napkins. For the fries, I don't know if you guys have tried the lemon pepper fries, that they are freaking fire. The regular ones are good too, but the lemon pepper ones, fire. So I want to do this story time because every single time I talk about it, like to my sisters or someone, and I've told them my job experiences, they're literally like, oh shit, like it's crazy. So I was like, you know what, this will be a good story time. Well, you know, it will be a good story time for me to tell you guys. So for those that do not know, back in the day, imagine, I've had 4 jobs. One of them, my first job was in Macy's. I applied for the seasonal job. It was like during like Christmas, and I applied and I worked there. I believe it was like 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. I worked there, and they put me in the fragrance like station. So I worked in the fragrance area, and I mean, it was cool. You know, it was my first job, so it was cool. You know, I remember that I worked, and then that year I was able to buy everybody gifts, and yeah, so that was my first job. My second job, I think I was freshly out of high school. I think I had like graduated already, and then my sister-in-law, which is Jesse's sister, she worked with a doctor in Beverly Hills. It was next to Cedars-Sinai, like it was in the Cedars, I think it was called Cedars-Sinai Towers or something like that. So she worked with this doctor, and she told me because she was pregnant and she was going on maternity leave, And she told me, she's like, hey, like, are you down like for me to train you and for you to take over me while like, you know, I'm on maternity leave? And I was going, and she was like training me, you know. She was front office, so she was doing like you know, bringing in patients, all that, you know, all that good stuff. So I worked there. I think I believe I worked there for, I think it was like 3 to 4 months, I don't know, or maybe 3 months. I don't know how long I worked there for, but I was working there for a cool minute. And I remember that you know, since I was freshly out of high school, I was hyped because I was like, dude, like, I have no medical experience, like, you know, I was like, I'm gonna be working in an office, you know, which is pretty cool. I was getting paid, that doctor was paying me at that time. I was like, dude, I'm getting paid a lot, you know, whatever. So I worked there. So I was working there, and I actually liked it. It was cool, you know. It wasn't a lot of people that I was working with. It was just the manager, and then the back office, and then it was me, since it was a small office, and he was a private doctor, so we didn't have like crazy patients like that. So yeah, I liked it, you know. And then I remember that I got pregnant with Ali, and I remember that time, like, the doctor was stressing me out. And I remember that in the beginning, like, I was bleeding, and I was like, dude, like, what the heck? Because I remember that I was pregnant, and I was like, is this even normal? So I remember going to the hospital, and they told me, you know, to take it easy, not to stress, you know, that can make me have a miscarriage. So I told my sister, and I was like, I'm sorry, like, I'm gonna have to. But I think it was only like a week that she had, and she wasn't already gonna go back. So I was like, I'm gonna have to, you know, like, stay home. And she ended up going back, whatever, everything was fine. And then I had Ali, and then I remember that I was like, I actually liked working, like, you know, in the medical field. Like, I enjoyed it, you know. I mean, the doctor he was already old, so he would sometimes give me a hard time. But I was like, you know what, I actually liked it. Like, and I was like, you know, like, if that's something that I like to do, might as well go to school for it and actually get my certificate and, you know, work in the medical field, since I gave it a try and I actually liked it. So I ended up going to UEI. For those that do not know, you know, it's colleges that you pay money, and it's like a 6-month course, you know, whatever. So I ended up going to UEI, and it was, yeah, like around 6 or 7 months, you know, in school, and then you go on to extern, and pretty much you get a job in the medical field. Okay, whatever. So I was going to school, and what's it called, I finished school, I graduated, I got my certificate. And so that school is supposed to help you get a job, like, you know, like they help you go to extern, which you have to make your hours, because that's basically like, it's still considered school time. So you go to extern, and that's, you know, like, you're making your hours, and then after that, like, you can either get hired at your extern, or they help you look for a job. So hold on, guys, let me eat another wing. Yeah, so I graduated, whatever, and it was time for me to do my extern hours. So I was sent to this clinic in Koreatown, and it was cool. I went and I did my hours, and that was a family practice. So basically, like, we were able to get like pregnant women, kids, adults, and all that good stuff. So what's it called? So yeah, so it was, you know, it was for like everybody, you know. It wasn't like a how you say it, like it wasn't a private doctor, like how it was my first job. So I did my hours, whatever, and I actually, you know, liked it. It wasn't that far from home. And so my hours were done. Like, I did my hours that I was supposed to do, and the manager at that clinic told me, like, okay, well, you know, we like the way you worked, we're gonna give you a call back, like, if you do get hired, whatever. So I told the lady that was helping me, you know, my counselor, I think that's what it's called. I told her, like, you know, that I didn't get hired, that he told me that he was gonna call me if, you know, if I got the job or not. So she's like, okay, well, meanwhile, like, you know, they do call you or not, like, I have this site that, you know, they're hiring, and, you know, I don't know if you would like to go. I was like, this is where it gets interesting. I was like, oh yeah, like you know, like I'll give it a try. I wanted a job, right? So she sends me to this location, and I remember looking at the reviews and looking at everything, and it was a clinic where they do plastic surgery, like boobs, you know, butt, everything, you know, it's a plastic surgery place. So I was like, oh, like damn, that's pretty cool. And also it was so close. That one was closer to my house than the one in Koreatown. So I was like, oh damn, it's not that far, like it's pretty cool. She's like, okay, well you have an interview this day. So I basically ended up going. I met with the manager, and the manager told me, you know, like, I know that you're freshly out of, you know, school, like what do you know how to do? And I told her like everything, you know, obviously, dude, like if you guys plan on going to UEI, I honestly, do I recommend it? Yes and no. I do, for the reason that, like, you know, something very fast, like you don't have to go to school for it. You do have to pay a lot of money, which is, that's the downfall. But it's like you go to school, right? They teach you the basics. Like they don't, you know, you like in UEI, like you they teach you like how to draw blood and all that stuff. Like you do it like in school, like you actually like draw blood and, you know, do all that stuff. But in reality, like the real world, it's different, you know, like you have to deal with insurances. That's something that they don't teach you in school. A lot of stuff that they don't really teach you in school that you have to learn on your own. So so then I told her like, okay, you know, I did extern, and this is what I did in extern, and I told her like basically what I knew, right? So she's like, okay, whatever. She said you're hired, you can come back tomorrow this time and this time. And I'm like, okay. So I left, and then I was like, okay, so do I sign any papers since I am hired? I was like, you know how when you get hired you have to like sign papers, you know, working your social security and all that. And I was like, well, maybe just gonna give them to me tomorrow. So I was like, okay, whatever. It was the next day. I went, and she basically like she had this other girl. It was a guy and a girl. And this other girl, no, it was a guy. The guy basically showed me around, told me where the instruments was at, and, you know, pretty much that's it. And just, okay, you do what you gotta do. And I was, obviously, dude, like I was nervous. I was like, you know, like I'm like, I don't know, you know, like it was all new to me, you know. And I was like, well, you know, whatever, it is what it is. I didn't complain or anything. I was just like, okay, like, you know, like let's see what I have to do. And I remember that my first day, you guys, my first day, the guy, he was a freaking dickhead. The girl was a bitch too. She didn't even talk to me whatsoever, you know, like I hate just, you know when you're a newbie, yeah, like they don't, like, it's just awkward, you know. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. That guy was a little bit more friendly on that side, but he was still a freaking dickhead too. So I remember that I was in the front desk, and I'm like, okay, like what do I do? Like they, you know, like I guess I had to answer phone calls, I don't know. So then the guy comes to me, and he's like, the doctor's with a patient, like go, go, go. And like he was kind of like going like this, like touching me, like go, like, you know. And I was like, fuck, like I never say anything, you guys. I never say anything, you know, siempre me quedo callada, because I'm like, I don't want to be in drama, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So then he like tells me to go with the doctor inside, and I go, and then the doctor's like with a patient right there. The patient's laying down, and the doctor is like assisting her. I think she had barely gotten a tummy tuck, because she had like the, you know, the blood thing, like those things that they hang on. Yeah, she had something like that. And he had these instruments, and then he like, I go, and then obviously I'm supposed to assist him. So I go, and I'm like next to him, and then he's like, give me, and he told me the name, right? And I was like, fuck, like I don't know what he's talking about. Like I stay like damn, like I don't know. And I'm like looking for the instruments, and then he's looking at me, and he's like, give me, and he says the name, and I'm like looking, and then he's like, and he like gets like frustrated, and he like moves me, and then like he gets the instrument and starts, you know, with the patient. And at that moment, dude, I wanted to walk out and start crying, and I was like, no, like I need to suck it up, like, you know, whatever. And he goes and he calls the manager, and he like, I could hear him kind of talking to her, and he kind of like saying like, why are you getting like, you know, girls that don't know stuff, like, you know, all this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, well, it's not my fault. Like, they hired me, like the worst. They were supposed to, you know, like kind of like walk me through, you know. I don't know, I don't know if I'm right, I don't know if I'm wrong, I don't know if they had to, or I don't know, right? So I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And then whatever, you know, that happened. And the guy, he goes, and like I obviously he had more time with them, so he goes and he like assists the doctor. And I'm like, dude, like I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I was like in my extra, and they had to like walk me through, you know, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, I was just so confused. And I was like, is it my fault, is it their fault? Like I don't know, right? And then pretty much that happened, you know. I had to learn on my own. I was legit like, fuck it, like I like no one's gonna teach me. I have to learn on my own, you know, kind of get familiar with the place and I don't know what. So then the manager goes up to me, and she's like, hey, like I want you to go to this different location. They have barely opened that location, and she's like, I want you to go and basically be there, and you know, if you have to answer phone calls, whatever. I was like, okay. She gives me the address, you guys. She gives me the address. I go. It's not the same day. I think it was like the next day, or the, you know, whatever. I go, and the spot is clean. Like everything's brand freaking new. You know, what's it called? Yeah, it was like a brand new place, you know. So I'm like there in the front desk, and I'm like, well, I don't like, there's no patients, because it's brand new. That spot is brand new. Like the other place, you know, that's where they see patients, but this spot is brand new. Like I was like I got hired to be a fucking security guard or what? Like I was like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, you know, I was like, the phone calls, I stayed there for the whole day, you guys. I was like, the phones were not ringing, everything was sparkly freaking clean. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I even called the manager, and I was like, hey, like I even asked her like, oh, like, you know, like what do I do, you know, whatever. And she's like, well, she's like, if the phone calls, if the phone rings, you know, answer it and answer questions. And then I'm like, but it's like, okay, if they call and they answer a question, I'm like, I'm a newbie, like I don't know what to say, like I don't know, you know. So I was there, the phone did not, probably rang once, you know, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. So I was on the computer. Okay, so like I was saying, there was a camera, and you know, I'm like in the computer, and I remember I was looking at the clinic and like trying to get information, like trying to like teach myself kind of thing, like, you know, what do they do, like what time are they open, you know, just in case someone calls and asks questions. Okay, that happened, right? So then she goes to the office, and then, you know, I greet her, and we're like, whatever. She's there with the guy, the one that I'm talking to you guys that work there, and with the doctor, and I forgot someone else. And then she tells me, she's like, hey Steph, she said, can you go get us some food? And then I'm like, yeah, sure, you know, because the fuck can I say, like, no, you know. So I'm like, yeah, of course. And she's like, okay. She gives me the money. She's like, go to Taco Bell, this to Taco Bell right here. And then she starts giving everybody their order, like, okay, what do you want, and I'm like writing it down. And then I go and I, you know, go get them their food. And then I was like, I'm not expecting for her to like buy me anything, you know, whatever. Like I didn't expect anything, but I'm like, wait, did I get hired to be someone's like freaking like maid or a security, or what am I? Like I was legit like what is this? Like what did I get hired to do, you know? So pretty much I go, and then I get them their food, I give her change, and then I remember that this guy, he got surgery. That day he like the doctor, I seen the doctor doing surgery in that new spot, and the surgery was the under eye, like the bag area. Under eye surgery, that's what he did. He did under eye surgery. I remember being there. I basically, you know, I was there next to the doctor looking at him, and if he wanted something, he would legit like point at it for me to give it to him, whatever. That guy got surgery, and you know, he was there to like rest a little bit. And I remember that the manager, the lady, I wish I could say her name, the lady, I'll tell you guys right now about that. That's crazy. I'll tell you guys right now. But that lady told me, she said, hey, can you take him home? And I was like, and then she's like, where do you live? And I told her like, by where do I live? And she's like, can you take him home? He lives close to you. And I'm like, yeah. Again, I'm like, okay, I'm a chauffeur now. Like, I'm supposed to drive people around. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And I go and I give the guy a ride home, and you know, I'm like, okay, bye. It was an old guy. He spoke Spanish, you know, he was very nice. I went home and I told Jesse, I'm like, dude, like, it was just crazy. Like, I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm like lost. Like, I don't know what to do in this job. Like, I don't know what am I supposed to do. Like, I don't know. And okay, that happened. And then the manager that night, she calls me. No, she texts me. She said, hey, like, you come in on this day. Basically, like, don't come in tomorrow, come in the next day. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm like, okay, well, tomorrow I have the day off. I guess it is what it is. So I took the day off the next day. Then she sends me a message, and she tells me, we need to talk, right, when you come in. And I'm like, I got in trouble. Like, it's like my first week and I'm already getting in trouble. Like, what did I do, you know? So then I go. No, I'm lying. She sends me a text saying that she needed to talk, and I don't know what. So yeah, and that happened. And I remember getting a call that same night. I remember getting a call from the manager from the extra where I did the hours. And he calls me, he said, hey, you know, we do want to hire you. We love the way you work. I would like to, you know, hire you. And then I was like, yes. Like, I literally, like, I was like, yes. Like, I don't care. Like, I said yes right away. I was like, yes, I'll be there, because I liked working there, you know. Like, I was like, you know, yes, like, I'll be there, whatever. So he's like, okay, that's fine. You can come in at this time, whatever. I was like, okay, I'll be there. So then I was like, well, you know, I did work like a week, I think a week or so in that other job. And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to go get my paycheck, you know, because I'm no longer going to work there. So I need to tell the manager, you know, that I quit. So I go, and then, you know, mind you, like, she wanted to talk to me first. And I was like, well, that's good, because I want to talk to you too, you know. And I was going to tell her, like, that was my last, you know, my last day. So I go to the office, and she's like, so we saw in the cameras that, you know, you were not doing your job, that you're in the computer searching our office, and you know, and I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, well, what are you expecting me to do? Like I'm like, what was I supposed to do, you know? Like, I was like, I wasn't on my phone or anything. Like, I'm like, you know, like, I wasn't over there fucking playing games. I was like, you know, kind of like educating myself on the clinic, you know. So I'm like basically just hearing her, and she's like, you know, that's so very unprofessional, and I don't know what. And she starts telling me this whole thing. I didn't even let her finish. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm letting you know that today's my last day, and you know, I got offered at another job where I did my extern, and you know, I'm planning on taking it, and just letting you know, whatever. And then she looks at me, she's like, you do know that you have to give your 2 week notice. Like, this is not okay. And I'm like, yes, I understand. I was like, but you know, I'm gonna get hired at the other place, so I'm just, you know, like, just letting you know. And then she's like, well, how much are they gonna pay you? And then I looked at her, and I'm like, bro, like, I was getting paid 13 13 an hour at the plastic surgery place, okay? And my extern, I was getting paid $10 an hour. Yes, I was gonna downgrade, but I was like, I really don't care if I'm downgrading. I'd rather be somewhere where they're paying me less and I feel comfortable than somewhere where they're paying me more and I don't like it, right? So I lied to her, and I was like, oh, they're paying me $15 an hour. And then she's like, oh, well, I was gonna pay you $17 an hour. And then, like, she was still trying to keep me, like, after I'm like, no, like, I'm quitting, like, today's my last day. And she was like, well, you need to write a letter saying that, you know, whatever, like, kind of like telling me to lie on the letter. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, and I wrote what I wanted to write, and I forgot, I forgot what she wanted me to write, but I remember that it was a lie. Like, she wanted to make it seem like she fired me or something, and I was like I think I wrote the letter like that I was leaving because I got a job opportunity, whatever. So it's just mind-blowing to me, guys. That was the worst a week and a half or 2 weeks that I worked there. It was literally my worst. I remember crying, going home and crying to Jessie because of that guy that used to treat me like shit. That girl didn't even talk to me whatsoever, not even had one conversation with her. She was very like bien creída, like she thought I was gonna probably take her job position or whatever. That guy literally was like this, like me tenía like así, like ándale, like, you know, and yo ahí de babosa, like, you know. But at the, you know, it's not my fault. I was young, I was stupid, I didn't, you know, like, now looking back at it, I'm like, damn, I should have said something. I should, you know, that probably that my last day I should have told that guy off, but I was like, you know what, it is what it is. I walked away. She wrote me my check and I left, you know. So, you know, I got hired at my extern. That was literally my full-time job. They gave me my schedule. It was a 9 to 5. Fast forward to now, right? Obviously TikTok didn't exist back then. So now, fast forward, I follow this girl on TikTok. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say no names. But dude, she got some work done, right? She got like her, I think it's a 360 lipo. Yeah, I think it's she got lipo, right? And dude, her body is beautiful. Like, she has like a little cinturita with like her nice waist. She has, you know, she has hips, she has butt, she has a nice body, dude. And I was like, damn, like, you know, like her body came out nice. And her body is kind of like mine, like, well, her body before it, you know, I'm very freaking square, like I have no hips whatsoever. So I was like, damn, like, I wonder what doctor she went with, right? You guys already know where this is gonna go. So I remember she answered back to one of the people that like asked her like, oh, where did she get her body done? And she said it, and I was like, no, she did not get it there. I was like, no, she did not. And I was legit like mind blown. I messaged Jessie. I was like, dude, like I told him about the story, and I'm like, it's crazy. She got her body done where I used to work at, and I was literally like, you know, getting mistreated. And it's just mind blowing, you know. It's just crazy how small the world is. That clinic is still there. I still pass through it. Still makes me feel some type of way, but I mean, it is what it is. I just wanted to tell you guys, like, if you're young and you're watching this and you're getting hired somewhere, because this happens, like, this happens where managers think that they're entitled to your life. Like, they think that they can boss you around just because they're your boss. Like, it's not okay. I think you guys should speak up no matter what. Like, do not let yourself, don't be like me where it's like, okay, yeah, no. Like, you guys need to put your foot down and actually speak up. I just wanted to tell you guys my job experiences. It's just crazy to me, just looking back at, like, you know, how I was treated. I don't think it was fair, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, if you are working right now and you're working at a 9 to 5 and you have managers that legit give you a hard time, I feel like don't take it. Like, I'm not saying to be disrespectful or anything, but, you know, hablando, se entienden las cosas. Like, you guys can talk about it, and, you know, you letting them know how you feel, because I don't think it's right, you know. Managers abuse, like I said, and that's not okay. At the end of the day, we're human. And yeah, alright guys, so this is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys would like to see next. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so that way you get notified every time I post a new video. Alright, you guys, we'll see you guys in the next video. We're the Jams family, and we're jamming out. Peace.